It's been a week since Hurricane Melissa wreaked havoc in Jamaica, now the most powerful storm on record to hit the island. In its devastating aftermath, one local organization has been on the ground to provide relief efforts and humanitarian aid to the most devastated parts of the island.
So we had our first team on the ground within 48 hours, and they have been both in Kingston, the capital, Montego Bay, which is in the northwest part, and then have been trying to focus more on the western part where the eye of the hurricane was.
Can you kind of describe their day to day and some of the things they've been doing?
We had 3 people on this initial team. What's been on the ground has been terribly great needs in terms of water, electricity. Buildings that are made of concrete typically were able to endure the wind, but they mostly lost their roof or have just been compromised. But then a lot of the structures that were not made of concrete are gone. It is worse than even we're seeing on the news and on the press.
Can you tell me a little bit about what they've seen and experienced since they've been there, and how could they describe this devastation out there in Jamaica?
They've used the word catastrophic and devastating. Everything's down, power's down, water's out. So sanitation is horrific, and people are having a hard time just eating and finding water sources that are clean. And to have that kind of devastation still present is pretty difficult to even imagine. Majority of what they're doing is either taking food that has come in, air distributions that have happened, and then taking that and distributing that to communities that they're working with. Definitely clean up, finding clean water sources. So one of the newest developments that came out in the last few hours is if we could provide some doctors and nurses to do community health clinics, kind of home to home, community to community.
When you think about how bad it's been out there and for them to be out there helping the community, how impactful do you think that is for the locals to see us out there, going out there, lending a hand and being part of all of this?
Well, it's incredibly impacting. I think what they are accustomed to is enduring on their own. They feel like just having our presence and being a source of solution, knowing that there'll be aid that will come in from us and others, it feels very hopeful for them.
How important is it for you all to do what you're doing out there?
It's a life-changing for us. We obviously do this because we love people and we know God loves people, and so we want to help people. But truly, some of the greatest impact often is us. We're being so changed by their resilience.
Any last thoughts on Melissa and this devastating hurricane?
I think it's always helpful if people want to know how to give, because there's a great need. We just even $100 is able to supply 300 people with 5 gallons of water. So it's such a drop in the bucket in our mind, but it just is incredibly impactful for them. So I think that's the greatest way I could advocate on their behalf. If you would just be praying for them. I think they just need strength.